I think out of everything that I've ever done and do, wildlife photography is probably my favorite of all. You know, it's not because I can make money at it or anything. It's just, it's for me. It's being here. It's being around what I really like the best. I can have all the hassles in the world going on in the studio. You know, the lab messed the film up. The models were late. Everything was wrong. I just walk out of the studio, the phones are ringing, I walk out into the woods, and all of a sudden, a calm comes over you. It's wonderful. Hunting with a camera and hunting with a bow or a gun are quite similar. You use the same type camouflage and everything. The camouflage has gotten a lot more sophisticated, the latest stuff being called tree bark camouflage, which I find is about the most deadly because it's a vertical world out there. When you're walking through the woods, most of your lines are vertical, and so are you vertical. So you can just go over with that tree bark and just stand up next to a tree and you blend right in. You blend right in. Where with the camo like this stuff, you're better off being low to the ground or stuck into a bush or something with this kind. This is fall camouflage, by the way. This is for when there's a lot of browns in the woods. There's probably as many different kinds of camouflage now as you could even think of. You know, there's serpentine that's for jungle, and there's probably 30 different colors of that, and then there's desert camouflage, and it just goes on and on. It's necessary to cover up all your flesh tones and everything. You don't have to cover them completely, but just break them up, cut down the shine of your face, depending upon what shade that happens to be. I use this camo tape. It's made for archery and gun hunting and stuff like that to put on my cameras because they like to make black and silver cameras, which are the absolute, probably the worst colors they could possibly be. Break that black solid silhouette there. It's not necessary to put it on every little piece of the camera, but just enough to break it up, because there is black in the woods. I use the camo tape on my tripod because no one makes a tripod that's camouflage that I know of. So it just comes in real handy, and it's a paper tape that leaves no tape residue or anything. It's made, you know, to put on expensive shotguns and things like that. So you just whip it on, whip it off, and it actually acts as a little protection, keeps your camera from getting scratched up and banged up a little bit. I used to be an archer, bow hunter, and a duck hunter. And as the world got more populated, there got to be less and less game. I started hunting with a camera. The last time I was hunting, the thing that stopped me from hunting, I was sitting up in a tree, and it was just getting light in the morning, and the mist was coming up off the ground, and it was just a beautiful scene in this pine forest up in Westchester County. And this big doe comes walking up, and I'm up in a tree about 30, 40 feet up in the tree, all dressed in camo. I pull my bow back, and I look down. I'm just aiming right at her chest, and something came over me, and I just looked, and I said, "What a beautiful scene! Why I don't want to stop this scene. I want to keep looking at this scene." Because I knew if I released that arrow, that scene would have been over. Instead, I just sat there and watched the deer for about an hour and a half, and it was really one of the most enjoyable times of my life. Just sitting there, the realization of the beauty. So now I'm an all-year-round hunter. I hunt all seasons. You see, the season can be closed, and I can still go hunting. I can hunt the babies, I can hunt the mothers, I can hunt them all. See, I can shoot the same deer every day. It's wonderful. Turkeys are supposedly the hardest bird in North America to photograph because of their vision is so keen. And they work together in flocks. And so instead of just having one pair of eyes looking at you, you might have 10 pairs of eyes looking at you. And they communicate with each other and everything. So if one just gets nervous and just picks up a little movement or something, they got you. That's it. Ball game's over. So it's a pretty hard deal shooting turkeys. You have to be real lucky and put a lot of time in the woods. I find that 300 millimeter 2.8 lens is probably about the shortest lens that you would want to use for this type of wildlife photography. I prefer to use a 500 f4 even that gives you a little better focal length. Your depth is very, very shallow with these lenses, which I like that look. It separates your subject from the background and isolates it in the woods, which is very nice. People can run tight behind it and everything. It's not fighting with anything for attention. It's not really necessary to buy these super fast, expensive lenses if you are shooting fast film just for your own private collection of pictures. But I'm a Kodachrome shooter, and Kodachrome is archival, and I deal in stock photos, and the agencies that I deal with demand Kodachrome because it takes a year or so to get the Kodachrome into the files, and then they want it to have longevity in the files once it's in there, where you don't have that with your faster films. You have to have an incredible knowledge of the prey that you're after. You can't just go walking into the woods dressed in camo, even though you have everything going, you know, you have all the right stuff. You know, you go to the store and you say, give me all that stuff. You know, I want to do that. You got to have the knowledge. It takes years and years and years of experience understanding the animals.